Now these moulds have been designed for sugarcraft. They're really elegant. You've got the actual pattern on the front and the back of the flower. I've used them with air dry clay, but because of silicone you can use them with the UT. What I did find, however, if you kept that fold there, which is fantastic for sugarcraft, but if you kept it with a UT it doesn't work. So what I've done is actually snipped it in half. Now don't snip these bits off because they help you line the actual mould up, so they're really handy. What we're going to do first of all is actually put a little bit of mica on here. Now the part that we see is this part, so it's that part we're going to put the mica on, and just a tiny bit of mica. Again, we don't need much. I mean, you can see I've still got mica on from the last application when I've used it before. You can clean them, just stick them in your washing bowl with a bit of washing up liquid and they'll clean absolutely perfect. Now this is a weird technique and I did find this out by experimenting. You need your pot. When you take your lid off your pot, handy to tell you this as well, it is nice if you've got another craft mat, another heat resistant craft mat, because then your lid won't stick to your surface that you're working on. Now I'm just giving it a stir, so I've mixed all that gorgeous mica. Now pour. What you need to do this time, make sure you've no dog hairs in your mould. Now you're going to be pouring in that mould. You want it to be too much, so we want this to run out of the mould. You then take the top part of the mould and squidge it on. Can you see how the mica, how the UT has come out of all the sides? It oozes out of all the sides. Now what we need to do is pick this up, and don't worry about this bit around the mould. All that is going to come off. Obviously be careful, this is hot. It has started to cool down already, however, so that allows me to start pulling these bits away, like so. Now this is a little bit hit and miss. I've had a few that have gone really well and a few that have gone a bit dodgy, so please experiment. But then that's cooled already, cooled enough for me to start peeling the mould away. Again, because this is a silicone mould, look at that, it allows me to actually peel it away. Now you'll notice all the edges are a little bit scruffy. Whilst it's still warm, just take these edges and just trim them off. So you want to do this while it's still warm. If not, if you haven't added UT to your pot, the flex to your pot, then you'll find this is really too delicate, because these are, I mean, they're paper thin, they're so delicate. So if you try and trim it when it's cooled down, it will just snap, it will be too brittle. Now I'm just trimming these bits off. If you notice now, they are quite sharp parts. Because this is a flower, we don't want any sharp parts as such. We not like it nice and rounded. Now this is when you use your pot. Round the edges of your pot, it's really hot. So that means you can actually use the pot, use the side of the pot to melt this back a bit. So what we're doing is melting it, and I'm not sure if you can see that, but we're melting it so it gives you nice rounded edges. And any bits that you don't like, any bits that you want to change slightly, maybe you want to indent some of those bits, do it on your pot. And can you see what we're doing there? So look at that, we've got those nice rounded edges using our pot to actually mould with. Like that one, if we wanted to work on that one, just take it to your pot and then just mould it. And can you see how it's completely disappeared? Because obviously it's melting the powder back, and there we have it. We've got our own very delicate, pretty little flower. Right, our last little demonstration for today. I'm using wire. Now, experiment with a different gauge of wire. What you want to do with this, you're creating a hole in the wire, if you will, a loop, because what we're going to do is suspend our UT within the loop. Now I'm just going to first of all create that loop, and what I'm doing, the shape I'm aiming for is a little leaf, so I'm just manually getting this into the right shape. So there we go, we've got a little leaf shape there, and then we start to dip. So what the important thing with this, you don't want this to be too thin. You know, you need a good pot of Uti. You don't want to be too tight with this, because you do need a good pan of Uti to actually dip into. Now, it's all about the angles with this. I don't know if you can hear my dog, he wants attention. Hi Dave. It's all about angles. So if you just put this in and it touches the base and lift it back out, nothing happens. You just coat your wire a little in Uti. However, and it doesn't always work first time, however, we're dipping in and then allow it to come out at an angle. And can you see what we've done? That angle has allowed me to create a skin of Uti. Can you see that? This is beautiful. Imagine this using it for wings of a butterfly, a dragonfly, or maybe fairy wings. And look at that, it's just so fine, is that skin of Uti. And this, of course, we did create our flower in full Blue Peter fashion. This is one we created earlier. So if I just move my pot out the way, you'll be able to see the delicacy. I mean, the flower is very delicate. This is very delicate. You would, if you were using pieces like this wouldn't be strong enough for jewellery pieces. This would be something that was framed. So put it in a box frame. You wouldn't be able to put it on a card. It would break because it is very delicate. But that, a beautiful technique. One to experiment with, but something that looks really, really effective.